Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Silver Crow Tarot. I'm Lindsay. I have been dying to do this hashtag, what is it called? The hashtag Tarot Bartender. I believe it was created by Imogen at Sapling Tarot. And I've been watching everybody else's videos and I want to play along, but the only thing that sort of held me back is that I don't drink a lot of cocktails. Most of these cocktails I don't know anything about because I am I'm a beer drinker. I prefer a nice hoppy craft beer. And that's sort of my preference. So this was kind of challenging for me. But I watched Jennifer at Bohemian Rose Tarot, who was a bartender, and she explained them, explained the drinks and what went into them. And I thought, okay, I can give this a try. So I'm going to give it a try. We'll see how it goes. Okay, the first one is called an old fashioned. Your favorite classic tarot deck or riff on a classic. Okay, I have one classic RWS, and that is the borderless tarot deck. I don't use it. I don't use it. I maybe once when I first got it, I opened it up and I tried it for a spread, but it did not. I don't know. I like the artwork, but it does nothing for me. And then I came across this little deck. I'm sure you've seen it. It is the Pamela Coleman Smith's Rider-Waite playing card deck. And I kind of fell in love with it because it's playing cards. And it's Pixie's original artwork, but it's condensed down into the size of a regular playing card. And I love this. I love this. The artwork that normally really does, when I say it does nothing for me, I absolutely appreciate what she did for the tarot community. And I absolutely appreciate her artwork. But for some reason, this style just never really appealed to me. And I felt that I never got great readings or cohesive readings from it or intuitive hits until I got this little deck. And all of a sudden, everything has just come to life for me. And it's the same artwork. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of these nice sort of creamy beige borders on it. I'm not sure. I can't explain it, but I really, really, really like this deck. I think it's great. So this is my old fashioned, and other than, well, I'll say a riff on a classic, which would be my Pulp Girls Tarot. I love that deck, and it is classic, Rider-Waite symbolism, etc. But this one, I like it, and it's small. I can throw it in my purse, and I can read it very easily. A lot easier than I could with the borderless version that I have. And I got the borderless because it was a little more subdued. The color-wise, it didn't have the bright yellows and stuff, which I like yellow. It would just be glaring to me. And I like bright and colorful decks, but for some reason, that didn't work for me. This works. Okay. The next one is a gin and tonic. No frills, straightforward, to the point deck. And I've never had a gin and tonic. I've never had gin at all. But I went with the Raven's Prophecy because I edged mine in orange. It is straightforward. I mean, it is emotive, it's minimalist, it's to the point, it's honest, it's so easy for me to read and get the perfect messages. I really, really enjoy this deck. I know a lot of people, pull it out for spooky season. It's on my desk all year long. I don't mind the orange borders. And this, I know I've said this before, this is my favorite world card. I think of all the decks I own, this is my favorite world card. I absolutely love it. And here I am with my fingers all in front of it. Jeez, sorry about that. But anyway, it's kind of a me deck. It's fiery, but to the point and sort of, and I don't want to say brutally honest because it's not brutal. It's just matter of fact. And I really enjoy this deck. Okay, so that's the gin and tonic. The next one is a spritz. Okay, again, never had a spritz. And unless you want to call those wine coolers from the 90s a spritz, I don't know. I mean, I've had a few of those. I didn't like them. But the spritz is a deck to brighten your day. And I chose this one, and it is the Pastoral Tarot. I love this deck. It makes me happy. It reminds me of going to Grandma's house. It reminds me of my horse farms. It reminds me of how precious those big round bales were and how I had to keep them safe from mold and mildew so my horses could eat. It reminds me of showing my quarter horse, Angel, and my Tennessee walkers. It just I see this and I think of what is that, Willie Nelson's concert he did for farmers, or I can't remember. It reminds me of my mom. And my mom would have been 90 years old on the 3rd of this month. And so it's sort of a nostalgic deck for me. Now, granted, I didn't really grow up in the country because I'm an Air Force brat. I've lived all over. We moved every couple years for my dad's job in the military. And then when I graduated high school, I went into the Air Force, so I moved some more. But the times that I have spent in the country, this reminds me of England, the sheeps in England. I lived there for 4 years. I lived there for 4 years. This is a familiar sight to me. It brightens my day. It makes me happy because it takes me back. It takes me to a time before social media, a time before the internet, a time before cell phones. A slower, easier, a time being in nature, being with animals, looking at the moon under a starry sky when you could see a starry sky and there weren't so many lights around, that blocked it. Just, it's that ease, and it makes me, it makes me happy. It brightens my day. And I love the soft sort of color palette. And Lisa Hunt, come on. Her artwork is stunning to me. I just adore it. But this is my spritz. This is what makes me happy. This is what brightens my day. And it calms me down too. Look at this King of Pentacles sitting here with his wine and his his vineyard behind him. Oh, my grandpa's barn. My grandpa, they were farmers, and he had a big red barn. And I used to go out, and he had a mule named Blackjack that helped him in the fields and stuff. And when I was real little then, because my grandpa died when I think I was around 3 or so, but I remember him. I remember him so much. I really do. And I remember him taking me out and picking me up so I could pet Blackjack on the nose. The chickens. So this reminds me of my grandma and my grandpa out on the farm. Okay, I'll stop there. I'll get nostalgia and start to cry. Okay. The next one is a dirty martini. Strong and salty deck. Okay, another drink I've never had is a dirty martini. I went with the Rainbow Tarot. There's another deck I could have picked, but I just like this one. Oh geez, yeah, there you go. Okay, talk about salty. I mean, is this the saltiest Empress card you've ever seen? I mean, she kills me. She's like, she's not happy. She's frowning. I mean, she's like, you know, this is salty. Salty and snarky, you know, and she is just, yeah, I won, you know, so full of herself, but it's the side eye that the horse gives that just kills me. And this one too. Look at my cups. Just look at my cups. And my clothes. My clothes match my cups. And the star card. She's like looking at the star like, what are you looking at? Hey, quit staring. Again, the horse with the side eyes. The horses in this deck just absolutely kill me. And this page of cups. The first time I saw this, I thought, she looks like she's thinking, okay, well, I'm having a fish sandwich for lunch. And the Nine of Wands, and this is my card, and her attitude is so, yeah, I'm riding a pink horse, and your point is? I love this deck. It is so funny, and they're winking at each other, like they're saying, yeah, they think they're going somewhere, but we're going to sit here. We're not going anywhere. She's got her horns out. I'm sorry. Anyway, you get my drift. So I don't know. Yeah, it's got a strong vibe to it, a strong energy to it, but it's bold. This is a bold deck, and to me, boldness is strength as well. So, sorry, that's just hilarious to me. I love this deck. Okay, so that was the Dirty Martini. The next one is a Pina Colada, a deck for a summer holiday. Well, this is the deck that always goes with me. It's my little travel deck. It's old. You all have seen it. It's the Hanson Roberts. And I'm sorry about if there's any shadows and stuff. We have just been under thunderstorms and rain for the last 2 weeks here in Florida, in my area of Florida. And it's, I can't get good lighting here. But anyway, this is the Hanson Roberts deck, and it is sweet. It is gentle. It is easy to read. It's small. It has pretty summery colors, and it goes on vacation with me because I throw it in my backpack. Like I said, it usually lives in my backpack. As a matter of fact, I had to pull it out of my backpack to show it here. But this is a deck that always travels with me because if I want something quick and easy, I just grab this deck and it delivers. You know? It's pretty little deck. I love it. I love the artwork. Oh, I love this Hermit card. Sorry I'm holding these up, but when I put them on the table, that's when we get a lot of shadow here. So I hope I'm not covering them up too much. But this is my deck that I take. This is my Pina Colada deck that travels with me on vacations or anytime I'm traveling. It's just with me all the time. I like that death card too. You know what this death card reminds me of? If you have the Aquarian Tarot, maybe it's the face. Could be the face. Anyway, that's the Hanson Roberts, and that's my vacation travel deck. What's the next one? The next one is a Hot Toddy, a deck for a cold winter's night. And I picked this deck. The John Bauer Tarot. I love this deck. Trimmed mine in a pale green. I have a lot of decks trimmed in pale green. This deck, it warms my heart. It's fairy tales. It's me sitting in front of the fireplace on a winter's day with snow outside, binge watching, I should say, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter or Once Upon a Time, just those epic sort of fairy tale and mythical type of movies, or just reading. And I used to have, I don't know where it is, but I have the complete collection of Brothers Grimm, reading that or watching Beauty and the Beast. This deck is very, very comforting, very warm to me, and I thoroughly enjoy this deck. I really do. And it's very intuitive. I use this deck and my intuition is off the charts. I love this deck. So that's John Bauer, and that's my Hot Toddy deck. The next one is Espresso Martini, an energy boosting deck. Excuse me, let me take a sip of water. My throat's a little dry. Energy boosting deck. You wouldn't think that looking at all this blue, right? But now you know why it's blue. Because this is the Tarot of Dragons. And this is an energy boosting deck for me. These dragons, even the water dragons, they've got a lot of energy to them. I love the decks. I love the bright color of this. They get me they get me charged up. And they demand my attention. It's very energetic. Every card just radiates energy to me. Look at this death card. Wow. I absolutely adore this deck. Oh, look at the wands. Sorry. I go places with this deck. I really do. And it definitely charges me up. And if I'm feeling already a little charged up, a little angry about something, which I don't get angry very often, but when I do, I pull this deck because these dragons understand me. They get me. They know me. They talk to me. They tell me, that's all right. That's all right, sister. Things are going to work okay. We'll work it out. Don't worry. Look at the devil. Oh, God, this deck. I love this deck. Okay. So that is my Espresso Martini and energy boosting deck. The next one is a Manhattan. A deck to take your time with, to sip and savor. And I'm going to go with this one. This is the Radiant Wilds Tarot because it's new to me. I mean, new as in this week. But I just made this fabulous bag to go with it. Isn't that awesome? Beautiful backs. gold gilt, but it's different. It's not like the other decks I have in my collection. And when I pull this out and look through the cards, I have to stop. I have to stop. I have to think. And I have to feel. This deck has a very fiery energy to me, which is perfect. You know, I look at this and it's Aries and Leo and Sagittarius, and it's that's fire signs. But I love the desert. The desert is one of my favorite places to be. I grew up in Arizona a lot, in Southern California when my dad was in the service. So I've lived in the desert. I mean, desert. And I love it. Absolutely love it. But I have to stop and think about this. You know, I have to stop and reflect. What is this image? What is my initial feeling with this deck? Because to me, it's a feeling deck. I mean, others may look at it and go, oh, well, it's a figure with a round ball head. Yeah, but look at her. She's standing. She's the Knight of Swords. She's standing on this chessboard here. I know nothing about chess. I used to play checkers. I don't know. I have to stop. I have to think about this. Look at this death card. It's just amazing. And the Hermit. Oh, wow. The Wheel of Fortune. Geez. This deck makes me think. And this one was interesting for me to try and figure out. I need to dive into the guidebook with this, because other than my initial reactions, initial feelings I get from the deck, I want to see what the intents were, the intention behind, and how it, you know, the artwork was chosen for each specific card. The Queen of Swords, with that radiant sun mind. Boy, she's a clear thinker, isn't she? And a cactus, so she can be a bit prickly. Oh my. Anyway, this is the one I need to stop. This is my Manhattan, a deck to take my time with, to sip and savor, and I'm going to really enjoy getting to know this deck. Love it. Okay. The next one, where am I here? That was the Manhattan. The next one is a Mojito, a palette cleansing deck for when you need a reset. Easy. For me, it was easy. I have several decks that I can, you know, put in this category that are mojitos to me, but I went with the Bianco Nero because it's a black and white deck. It's easy. It is RWS, basically. It's just easy, and when I need to step away from my normal decks, which are bright colors, etc., I pull this out, and it clears my mind. It's a mind clearer, and I think mint can sort of be that way. You know, it can calm and clear. I like mint. Specifically like mint flavored gum. But a mojito, I can drink a mojito as long as they don't put too much rum in it or make it too sweet. I can handle a mojito. But this is that palette cleansing deck for me. And it's a very, very clear, honest, clean reader. And it's pretty. It's just, I think it's gorgeous. You know, I like this deck. I like black and white decks in general, you know, along with my color, and I like to use them with my vibrant color decks as well, because I like that contrast, the clean, crisp black and white against color. I love that. Just a little aside, Years ago, when I lived in Virginia, I put a black and white, I laid, myself, big 14, I think they were 14-inch tiles, black and white checkerboard in my kitchen, on the kitchen floor. I loved it. Oh my God, I loved that. It was gorgeous. But I guess it's because it reminded me of one of my favorite artists, Mary Englebright. I love her whimsical artwork, and she uses black and white a lot. Okay, that was my mojito. The next one is a Bloody Mary, a problem-solving deck. Now I have the large version and I have this pocket size, but here we go. It's the Kali Oracle. Got a problem? Call Kali. You know, she will she will work out any problem I have. She pulls no punches. She's honest. She's forthright. And after a session with Kali, I know exactly what I need to do, where I need to go, what move I need to make next. And if I don't, she gives me this, fine, I'll do it myself attitude. And she takes care of it. So if I got a problem, this is who I call on. This is the Kali Oracle by Lana Fairchild. This is the pocket edition, but I love it so much. I have it in the large edition as well. And a lot of times I will take this traveling with me too, because you never know when you're traveling what might crop up. Okay. That was Bloody Mary. A French 75, a special occasions deck. I can't remember. I know I looked it up, what a French 75 was, but I can't remember. I think it had something to do with champagne. Is that it? I don't know. Oh, sorry. I should have been more prepared for this. But I don't drink champagne. But this is my special occasions deck. And it is the Dark Side Skeleton tarot deck. And I think it's special occasions because the feel of this deck, the feel of this deck is lush. I mean, it is smooth. It is buttery smooth. It has these gorgeous matte black edging to it, and I love this deck. But you know, it's not that I'm afraid of using the deck. I'm not, because I use it quite often, but I don't want to ruin the edges, you know, so I'm so precious with this deck. And I know it's mass market, and I know I could buy it again, but that's not the point. This is my deck, you know, and I want to keep the edging on it. I do not riffle or bridge this deck at all. You know, I just overhand gently shuffle this deck because it means a lot to me. And if I think back, is this the deck I used for my very first video on YouTube? I think it was. But this is very special to me. It's a precious deck. And I pull it out, I mean, I do use it often, not as often as I want. This would be an everyday deck for me. But I want to keep it safe, if you know what I mean. So that makes it a deck I pull out just specifically when I just need my skeletons here. Look at this King of Cups. Is he awesome? Look at this. Can you see this? Look at the octopus here crawling up. And the octopus, this is one of the best King of Cups I've ever seen. And the Queen of Wands. How regal is she? Man, I love this deck. So, you've seen it. I've showed it a couple of times if you've watched my past videos. If not, here it is. And this is my French 75, a deck that comes out when I really need a chat with my skeleton friends here. And it's a precious deck to me. Oh, we'll end on Temperance. That's my card. Okay. That was French 75, a special occasions deck. The next one is Aviation, a wild card deck for when you're feeling adventurous. I have two. I'll show this one in a minute. But I have this Sweet Forger's Tarot. And I just finished using this with Don Michelle's Fellowship group. This sweet little deck. Oh my goodness. I need to make a bag for her, but I just love this this little box. It's adorable. This deck, it takes me to another world. You know, it takes me to a world of fairies and interesting creatures and beings and different landscapes. Excuse me. This reminds me of Luna Lovegood with those glasses she wore. I adore this deck. I mean, the Queen of Cups in a bathtub in front of a waterfall in a night sky. Gorgeous. But it looks like little, I mean, those could be bushes. You know, oh, this deck just takes me to another world. And I absolutely love it. So when I want to walk a liminal space or escape current reality here, which I like to do, especially this time of year, I enjoy pulling this deck out and going somewhere else and seeing beings who are friendly, who are welcoming, who are colorful, who are unique, who are different, you know, and who embrace each other's individuality, who are tolerant. I love this. I can go to this deck. You know, I can sit in a different space. Even the devil, he doesn't even look that devilish. Come on, he's cute. He's got a pink snake. I thoroughly enjoy this little deck. It's adorable. You know, when I first got it, I thought, oh, I don't know. It looks kind of childish. I don't care. My inner child, my inner teen, and my old lady crone here, we love this deck. I love that death card. It's just so pretty. And the colors. And I bought beautiful dice, a beautiful set of dice that's this color, sort of this color to go with this deck. And also has a pink glitter dice to go with it. Anyway, okay. All right, that's a wild card for when I'm feeling adventurous. And the other one, this is when I want to take a walk on the dark side, if you will. And this is Tarot V. This is my vampire deck. This also takes me to a different world. It takes me to the darker, seedier, mysterious, deep, dark, dangerous side. You know, and it is a whole different world. It is a world of the night. It is a world of, I don't want to say monsters, because I don't feel that, I don't know how to describe it. I don't feel that they're monstrous. I feel like they're unfortunate beings. You know, I love that Eight of Cups. And the World card, rising into the sun. starting to burn. Oh my. But yeah, when I want to visit, be adventurous and visit my shadows, or go to a darker side of life, I pull this out. And I'm in love with this deck. I really am. It's very evocative to me. Like I said, I'm an intuitive reader. Oh, come on. Classic. I just adore it. Absolutely adore the deck. I keep saying that, and I'm sorry, but this is my kind of a vampire deck. Why does that remind me of Woody Harrelson all of a sudden? Sorry, don't want to spoil things, but that's sort of what that reminded me of. Never noticed that till just now. I like that death. I like everything about this deck. I mean, everything. The cardstock is just a little stiff, but that's okay. I don't want to damage this deck in any way either, so I don't tend to riffle or bridge this deck at all. I just overhand shuffle it. Okay, so lighter side with little fairies and everything is bright and beautiful, and the darker side when I'm feeling in one of my little darker moods. And please tell me I'm not the only one who feels that way. Okay, the last one is your drink of choice and your most used deck. Well, like I said before, my drink of choice is a nice hoppy craft beer. But usually when we travel and we cruise an awful lot, they don't have nice hoppy craft beers on the cruise ships. So I have to think of something else. Typically, I go probably 90% of the time, unless I want to get a Guinness, which usually the ships have a Guinness. I'll drink that. But I will go with a red sangria with Malbec wine, because I don't like it too sweet, but I want it just sweet enough, so give me 3 cherries in it. So that's what I order. Red sangria with Malbec wine and 3 cherries. So it's uncomplicated, it's palatable, it's easygoing, nothing harsh or bitter about it. I like that sweetness to it. And these are my most used decks. I've had this for a long time. This is the Enchanted Map. I think I got it when it came out. And this is another travel deck with me. But this is a go-to deck because it pairs so well with so many of my decks that usually whichever deck I choose, or tarot deck I choose to take with me traveling, it goes with this one. And it's a standalone. I absolutely adore this deck. I have trimmed mine and edged it in multi sort of earthy looking colors to match the back. But I love this deck. It's honest, it's truthful. It tells me what I need to hear when I need to hear it, but it does so that doesn't make me feel bad about myself or make me go, oh, I hate you. Nothing like that. It's a great deck, and I absolutely adore it. But I had to pull out my other Colette Baron Reed deck, and that is the Spirit Animal Oracle. Because even though this one is not as old as the Enchanted Map, it is probably, and I've edged mine as well in sort of jewel colors, it would be hard for me to tell you which one of these I use the most. I don't typically take this large deck with me because it's a chunky deck. It's 60 something cards and it's heavy. So if we're flying, I don't want that extra weight, and I certainly don't want to put it in my backpack to carry around. But this is a go-to deck for me. I probably pull a card from this deck. I do it monthly to see which spirit animal is walking with me each month. Get their message, but then I use it constantly. I really do. I think when I'm at home, I use this deck more than I use the Enchanted Map, because like the Hanson Roberts, which goes beautifully with this, it stays in my backpack a lot. So I have to be conscious enough to think about going and pulling it out of my backpack to get it. But I love this. And I love it so much. Yeah, I did it. I bought the mini version. So now I can take it traveling too. So I have both of them traveling. Oh, and we are getting ready to go on a long cruise, a transatlantic cruise to Lisbon. And then we're going to take the same ship, because it's going into dock. It's going to get some freshen up or whatever. 18 days later, it's coming back from Barcelona back to Port Canaveral. So we're going to be on that this fall. And in between those 18 days, we're going to be cruising around Italy. Never been to, well, I have, but I was on a military base and I didn't get off to see any sights because I was temporary duty there for a week. So I can't wait to see Italy, and I can't wait to take these decks with me, and especially the little pocket version. And I'm sure you all have seen it by now. I'm going to grab it real quick just so you can see the size comparison, the difference between the two, in case you're thinking about it. Oh, look at there. There's the difference between the two. So this will be perfect to slip into my backpack, and I'll have this with me all the time because I work with animal energy a lot, and I love getting my messages from these gorgeous, gorgeous animals. You know, yes, they have embellishments, they have crowns, they have feathers, they have beads on them. You know, they have color added to them. I don't care. I love it. I think the deck is gorgeous. So it's my most used and my usual deck. Okay, I think, am I done? Is that it? The usual, your drink of choice, your most used deck? These two, Enchanted Map and the Spirit Animal Oracle, are my most used decks. Okay, I'm finished. So, tell me or show me, you know, if you've made a video of this. I want to see what decks you picked. And maybe you know more about drinks than I do. I mean, I can say out of all of these, I have had a pina colada, a mojito, a Bloody Mary, and then my own drink, which is the red sangria. You know, so that's it. Out of 13, I really had like 3, 4 of these drinks. Now, if you put a tequila sunrise on here, if you had a margarita on here, let's see, Long Island iced tea, you know, I've had those too. Anyway, this was fun. Thank you, Imogen, and thank you everyone else who have put this video out, who did this hashtag and talked more about the drinks and their decks, you know, and which ones sort of go together. I appreciate watching all of them. This was really fun. So until next time, peace and love. Bye.